Hi everyone, how we doing? I thought I should show my face today because today has been a handful. Like today has been a handful. The only thing I haven't done today is to cry. I am telling you, that's the only thing I haven't done today. Like I have gone from 0 to 100, all the spectrums of life. Do you understand? Like today has been a handful. Today is one of those days when entrepreneurship is like, oh gosh, can I just like leave this place? Today has been a handful. I've been putting out fires, trying to sort a lot of things out, you know, and I thought that I should just not show up on the days that are beautiful. I should show up on those days that are not as beautiful as the other days so that we would know how to handle the not so good days. Like, I think it's just about almost 2 p.m. in Dallas. So I still have a lot of hours to ensure that today ends pretty well. But from 6 a.m. till now, I have been trying to be emotionally stable and sane. And I thought that I should let you know that we all have not so good days. We all have those days where we're just not at our optimal levels. Those days where you are trying to be assertive and not aggressive. Those days where you are trying to be extra civil, extra courteous, kind. Those days where power is almost changing hands. And you're saying to yourself, just take a deep breath. Just pause. Just take a deep breath. I just thought that I should come and show my face and let us know that we all do have not so good days, but it is what we do with the not so good days that will matter. So, me as an emotions doctor does not mean that I do not have bad days or that I'm perfect. It just simply means that emotional intelligence changed my life and I am trying to help other people achieve what I have been able to achieve also. You know, so it is not a state of perfection, it's a state of daily improvement. We all do make errors, we step on toes, we make mistakes, we all get upset. Anger itself is not evil or terrible or negative. Anger is neutral. Anger is one of the emotions, and emotions are data. So I thought that I should let us know that on the days that we are not optimal or we're not feeling excellent or we're not feeling ourselves, what we have to do on those days is to pause. Take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath before conversations, in between conversations. I was talking to my team members today and I was struggling to just remain normal. I was saying some things, and I'm not sure if it was the fact that I wasn't communicating properly, or they were distracted, or they weren't listening, or they were receiving instructions or suggestions. I don't even know what was going on, but I was tired of repeating myself. I was tired of explaining the same thing, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is supposed to be a simple project. Why are we making this project a principality? What is going on? All of us are trying to be normal. Like we all just survived a pandemic. We're dealing with an inflation and we're dealing with global crisis. Everybody is trying to create their happiness. Please, what is going on? And I had to be taking deep breaths. At a point I had to say, I am struggling to remain kind. Like, I have said this thing like 5 times. What other language am I expected to Oh, Lord God Almighty, Kioluwa Shanu. Like, oh, Lord have mercy. Those days come. Those days remind us of how normal we are and how fallible we are and how like it just reminds us that we're human. And in the humanness, we are still trying to be normal, to be civil, to be kind. And that's the place of self-awareness. That is the place of self-awareness. So today I showed up here to let us know that between 6 a.m. and 1 p.m., it hasn't been one of my best hours in 2022. It hasn't been one of my best days this year. It's been very stressful. And when you're an entrepreneur managing people from different countries, I have team members in Dallas, I have in Nigeria, I have in India. When you're managing 3 different time zones, speaking to 3 different sets of people, communicating with people, and India, for example, is 14 hours ahead of Dallas, and then Dallas is 6 hours behind Nigeria's timing. And then you have to relate with these people. There's the language barrier, there's the technical barrier, there's the understanding and comprehension barrier. There are barriers everywhere. And you, the CEO, is still supposed to be making money. Everybody is supposed to do everything, and we're all that we have. My team members are all that we have. I am all that they have. Like, technically, when we're talking about official and work, everybody has a life outside of work, but when it comes to work, we have to get the job done. I am saying this because if you're an entrepreneur, there's a tendency that you may want to throw in the towel, you may want to give up. We all go through this. Let me appreciate all the people showing up here. I see Damilola Owolabi. I see Damilola has been one of my guys for technically about 15 years. I don't know when he's going to put me on an allowance. Dami, is it that you don't know that I'm part of people praying for you, that you should be rich and wealthy? And now that you are rich and wealthy, you now want to delete me from the book of life, your book of life. Damilola Owolabi, fine man. It ain't gonna happen. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're struggling to remain normal at this time, to be civil at this time, to get your acts together, to do a lot of things, I just want you to know that I got you, I understand you, and you're not there alone. If you're an employee and you're wondering sometimes why your upline or boss is a little on edge and stuff, it is not one of the best moments in the world. We are all trying to make it one of the best moments, but practically it is not. Everybody is dealing with so much, and then we all have personal lives apart from professional lives. Things are going on in everybody's life. We're only just trying to put the intersections together and to ensure that we are as compassionate and empathetic as possible. Every time I go to bed and I wake up, the number of messages I receive, sometimes people are sending me their account numbers and I'm not even sure what they think I do for a living. I'm just like, are you serious? Someone can't go to bed and wake up in peace. Like, the demands are everywhere. And if they're not emotional demands, they're psychological demands, they're physical demands, they're spiritual demands. Like, everybody is placing a demand on a portion of you. And you're just like, maybe I should just keep sleeping because people have been waiting for me to be awake. Like, what exactly is going on? So what do we do when these days, or we're experiencing the not so beautiful days or the not so fantastic days? What exactly do we do? So can we please share, what do you do on the days when you don't mark those days as your excellent or perfect or best days? What do you do on those days? Please talk to me. What do you do on those days? Today, between 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. has not been one of my fantastic or beautiful days. I've had to put fires out because I'm an entrepreneur. I've had to keep thinking, keep checking everything that we said we're going to do, meeting deadlines, KPIs, customer relationship, dealing with employees, dealing with service providers and vendors, B2B, B2C, B2G, all of those things are there. And then you still have to, in all of this, remain emotionally stable, deal with clients and stuff. So please talk to me. Let's all learn. How do you tidy up your not so good days? What do you do on those days that are not your excellent or perfect days? And then if you're a woman, the days where cramps are involved, cramps and periods for some women, can be a handful. Cramps just show you everything: back pain, body pain, diarrhea, cough. You don't even know what is coming every month. It's like Santa Claus. You don't even know what is coming monthly. Like, you just know that, oh God, power has changed hands and you are no longer normal. And you are trying so hard, to be normal in between all of this drama. So talk to me, please. What do you do on your not very good days? What do you do on those days when you are not so high on patience, so high on joy, high on happiness? What do you do on those days? Please talk to me. I see awesome people here. Beta is here. I see Sisi Gbemi. I see Yeti. I see Rebranding, Tommy, Tafonja Lanre, Odeshola. I see Ire Musa. All of us, please talk to me. What do you do on those days where you know that those days are not your best days or your perfect days? Talk to me. What do you do? And I'll tell you how I manage mine. Despite all the fires that I put out every time. If you're an entrepreneur, half of what you're going to be doing sometimes maybe putting out fires, managing people, unnecessary petty details. There are some things that you hear, you're just like, how am I hearing this? Like, what do I need this for? I didn't get what you wrote, please. Anif Speaks, he said, I just say I feel to people. I didn't get that. So welcome to today's conversation. We're talking about what you do on the days when you are not happy or patient or excited. Those days that people really call bad days, but we're not going to call those days bad days. We're just going to call those days not so good days. And I explained that this morning from 6 a.m. to my 1 p.m. in Dallas, it has not been a fantastic, I've just been doing too many things that I am not interested in, but I have to get done because I'm a CEO. So Lanre says, I talked to an accountable friend that would listen to me. Excellent. So I am glad that Lanre, says that he can talk to people. Sometimes also I find that sometimes as friends, even when people talk to us, we may not be listening. We may be listening to respond or listening to fix the issues, not just listen. Sometimes when these things are going on and it looks like a day full of frenzy and madness, sometimes all you need will be a hug. Sometimes it may just be everything will be well. Sometimes you just need some level of kindness, like somebody just hugging you or just telling you that everything will be well, take a chill pill. Sometimes you just need normalcy. So I am happy that Larry says that he's found, that in some people. So, okay, somebody says, I talk to people who care to listen. Another person says, I sleep. It solves a lot. By the time I wake up, I refocus. Excellent. Please share. What do you do on your not so good days? I'm going to explain what I do. What do you do on your not so good days? Those days that you feel cranky, unhappy, disturbed. All those days. Please talk to me. What do you do? Somebody said mine happened today. Mine happened today also till about 1 p.m. I'm trying to alter my state. I've eaten firewood jollof rice, the smoky one, and meat, very spicy beef. I'm thinking maybe I should wash it down with Coke or coffee or something. But I've been everywhere in this world in my mind. I've been everywhere in this world. My team members are one of the best. I love working with them. But the day they have my time, and you will just think that maybe they had a family meeting that's all. How will we frustrate ED today? But they don't do that often. But when they do that, I feel it. So 80% of the time, they're very sweet people. Very sweet. I love them. They make me happy. Good humans. The day they have my time, you'll be struggling to, what's going on here? So somebody says that I told my husband and I came home to a fantastic meal. Oh, that's such a good man. Thank him for us. Another person says, days or moments when I can't sleep, I sing out loud to the song I'm feeling in that season. Awesome. So the conversation is, what do you do on your not so good days, not so beautiful days, not so kind days? What do you do on those days? Let's learn from you. What do you do on those days? What do you do on those days? Don't fumble, just say the truth. Don't fumble, just say the truth. On those days when You are shouting, yelling, doing stuff. Everybody you meet may taste your transferred aggression. What do you do on those days? Here is what I do. So when I woke up this morning, I woke up pretty well, very soft, very cool and stuff. And then my first engagement was the fact that I needed to have a meeting with some of my team members, and I'd given some instructions that felt like there was like a delayed response, and I'd given the same instructions repeatedly, like 5 times, and I was wondering what is going on here. Why am I micromanaging? And then I do not like micromanaging. I think that micromanaging is devoid of trust, and then it's a waste of everybody's time. So I try as much as possible to break down my conversations in bits, and ask if it's understandable and stuff. So I'd done this and I saw that, okay, there were missing details, and because of the missing details, we had to be doing something repeatedly, wasting time, and I do not have that kind of time. By the time I am awake in Dallas, in Nigeria, for example, they're in the afternoon. They have about 3-4 hours left before close of business. In India, by the time I'm awake, they have closed. India is 14 hours ahead of Dallas. So by the time I'm awake, they have closed. So I'm like, when I give an instruction, and then I wake up and almost all of you have almost left the office and these things have not been tidied up. What exactly is going on? Like, we should get to a point where we are like self-motivated and independent, especially when something is clear. Pay attention to details, get the job done, leave the office, and that's it for the day. And then we meet the next day. But if we have to keep micromanaging, it's a waste of everybody's time, a waste of life, and all of us do not even have that emotional bandwidth, to stretch it. We're in that time when everybody is pressured, everybody is trying not to be tired, everybody is trying to be happy, remain courteous, remain kind, remain compassionate, remain empathetic. We're in those times where we can't fake it till we make it. I've never been a subscriber of that. We have to get things done. We have to do what has to be done. And all of us are doing this together. So let's get our acts together. So that's how I woke up, trying to put out fire. And then there were quite a handful of things I had to retidy up. And I'm like, this is too early to be the focal point. And one key thing that was going on was my self-awareness in the sense that I knew that my mood wasn't my normal mood, so I knew that I needed to take it easy. I needed to keep pausing, keep explaining, keep being assertive, keep expressing myself as opposed to exploding, keep letting them know that, what, I do not appreciate this. I know that you can do better than this, so I'm wondering what is going on. Where did I miss it? What am I not saying properly to you? What are you not getting? I had to keep checking in with my feelings, keep feeling my feelings, keep ensuring that as much as possible, I was experiencing mental edit, meaning I was editing what I wanted to say, so that I wasn't going to just bring them out the way I was feeling. My feelings were raw, just like every human being's feeling. Your feeling usually will be very raw, but then you have to process it. You have to ensure that what you want to say is delivered the same way you want to say it. Somebody said some days I just allow myself a beg. I shout, scream, frown, do everything. I deeply understand you, Afonja. I totally get it. Sometimes you're just like, oh Lord Jesus, help me. Just help me to be normal. Help me to be normal. Because the person on the other side also may be experiencing a bad day. It may not be one of their best days. Things may be happening in their lives. You also have issues happening in your life. Everybody is trying to have a compromise in the middle. Sometimes employees don't know what employers go through with a level. Like, it is not as simple as social media makes it feel. It is not as smooth as social media makes it feel. one thing happens every month, whether everybody works or not, it feels like employers have to pay. And then you have to check out the results for the deliverables for everything. I have team members who go overboard. Sometimes I even have to say to them, why are you awake at this time? You should be off to bed. But sometimes they're trying to tidy up some things, this and that, and I'm like, do it tomorrow, go to bed. You don't have to be awake at this time and all of that, But sometimes also you are finding and looking for them, meaning you can't find them. You are like, where is this person that needs to put out this fire? And then it depends on the country they are in. Country and environment also has its own issues, where from light to network issues to so many other things. So those things happen at every point in time. But we all have to remain stable in an emotionally unstable world. We have to remain normal even on the bad days. On the not so good days, we have to remain normal. So one key thing that would happen to you on the not so good days is to activate your pause. Pause before you speak, pause while you're speaking, pause when you're done. Activate your pause, check in with your feelings. The fact that you can even catch yourself unhappy, catch yourself snapping, catch yourself feeling irritated, catch yourself feeling angry and anger, catch yourself, doing all of those things, reveal a level of self-awareness and a high level of self-awareness, meaning you actually know what is going on part time and you're trying to put a lead on it. You are trying to put a lead on it. You're trying to put a lead on it. You don't want to escalate it. So you can spot potential conflicts and you want to de-escalate. That is enough for anybody. You are spotting potential conflict and you want to de-escalate. Those are the things that we have to do every time we're not feeling ourselves. Every time we're not feeling ourselves, we should check in with our feelings. We should pause. And like some people said here, sometimes you may be able to sleep, but just in case you are not able to sleep, you can at least keep quiet till you are in a better mood or you feel better to be able to convey your message without conveying the anger or without conveying the aggression, or like sometimes it is just very stressful and strenuous, and sometimes you are just saying to yourself, why am I experiencing all of this? Why am I trying so hard to be kind when I can as well just say what I feel? I can as well just pour it out. One thing I do is to let the person know that, what, I am struggling to keep this kindness on. I do not know what is going on, but I am tired of repeating the same thing. I have said something repeatedly. I'm not sure what the problem is, but I just feel like something is not right. And I do not know what is not right here. So if there's something you want to ask me, just ensure that I haven't checked the records, our emails, our conversation, what I've said before. If you follow them precept upon precept, you will most likely get it right. But if you are not paying attention to details, we are going to get to this point, and it is not a point where anybody likes to be. So the not so good days show up, and I thought I should let you know that I also feel it. I also feel the not so good days. I feel those days where we are pressured, we are not as happy as we should, we are not as excited as we should, we are not as graceful as we should, we are not acting as honorable as we should. I need us to know that nobody is perfect. We're all experiencing all these days together, and perfection does not exist. It is only daily improvement that exists. So if you catch yourself experiencing all of these things, the fact that you caught yourself alone is a sign of self-awareness. And we should pay attention to that. The fact that you know that, today is not one of my most beautiful days, that is good enough so that you can pay attention to it, receive the data, feel your feelings, and be able to do something with those feelings some other time. So I thought I should come in here, usually as my real, raw, and vulnerable self, to let you know that there's no perfect person anywhere. There is no picture of perfection or glamour, or because you are the emotions doctor, you shouldn't feel your feelings. No, it is the fact that we are all paying attention to what is happening to us, and trying as much as possible to be able to tidy up the emotions, the feelings, and to ensure that there is dignity in labor for everybody. People are laboring and there's still dignity in the labor that they offer us. Yeah. Somebody says red is my color. There are only two colors in the world, red and others. Just two, red and others. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I am rooting for you. Remember that I appreciate you. We all have those not too good days. But when those days come, remember to pause. Remember to pause while you're speaking, before you speak, and when you're done speaking. And also remember to try as much as possible to feel your feelings and convey your feelings with kindness. The kindness may not be at the level where you usually convey it. The gracefulness may not be at the level you usually convey it. The compassion may not be at the level that you convey it. But the good thing is that you are self-aware and you are trying so much, even with your children, with your spouses, with your friends. Sometimes you can actually say to them, I'm not in a resourceful state. I'm not in a resourceful state. Can we have this conversation some other time? I'm not in a resourceful state. Can we have this conversation some other time? Sometimes people just drop unnecessary things on your table. They just involve you in petty details and they forget that you don't have to know what you don't have to know. There's no point giving me, small talk or just telling me what I really don't have to know. If I have to know it, please go ahead and inform me. But if I don't have to, don't turn this into like a gist. Just let me deal with what I should be dealing with. So I am rooting for you. And if you can sing or sleep or dance, whatever makes you happier, please go for it. But remember that these are precious times and we all go through the spectrum of emotions. Sometimes we move from 0 to 100. And then we feel so many things at the same time. Just keep your emotions active, feel your feelings, and try as much as possible to improve them. Enjoy your life. Thank you for tuning in.